Donald Trump pulls out of the United Kingdom. United Kingdom now seeking $130,000 in hush money. United States of Europe making fun of the EU the American way. On this YouTube channel, I have for the past 5 years tried to make a daily show for the EU, hoping that someone would pay me money to do it before the 2019 EU elections. That didn't happen. You blew it, EU, and yet it's still somehow more satisfying to keep my focus on the Brits and the Yanks. Now, President Trump was in the UK to commemorate the lead up to the D-Day invasion 75 years ago. And with Trump's departure, it was the perfect chance for the UK to celebrate the 75th anniversary of that post-D-Day feeling known as "Thank Christ They've All Gone." And now, here are my top 10 jokes from around the internet, starting with number 10. Obviously, Trump's trip was unique for Trump bringing his children this time, as featured in this pose, which I mentioned last episode. Looks like the Von Trapp kids grew up and sided with the Nazis. But don't forget this snarky tweet as well. This is what happens when you alienate the fashion designer community. And please note, this pose of Trump's children does not include his illegitimate hush money babies or the ghost babies from forced abortions. At number 9, just when it seemed like the Trump visit was fading into last week's news, Trump commits a world-class typo, creating a new character called the Prince of Wales. At 8, meanwhile, Nigel Farage delivered a letter to the Prime Minister setting out his Brexit demands, or to sum up, Nigel Farage, who has 0 MPs in British Parliament, delivering a letter to Theresa May, who just resigned as PM, to demand a seat at the EU negotiations, which ended 3 months ago, might win the award of most empty political gesture ever. Or in the words of technically Ron, much like Nigel Farage, I too have delivered a letter to the Prime Minister saying I should be involved in the Brexit negotiations. Much like Farage, I am not an elected MP, hate turning up to work, and have never achieved anything, so we're equally qualified. Or at number 7, to sum up the Brexit negotiations, Britain placing a flag firmly in its front spokes, crashing and blaming the EU. From the makers of Thanks Obama. At number 6, Trump's infamous tux. Now, in the previous episode, I had taken this portrait and compared it to Young Frankenstein. But Trump in that tuxedo, turns out, is a much better comparison. And of course, it all makes for a perfect setup for Trump's ties. Trump's ties, creators of this shot, this one, or now this one. At number 5, the protest signs. Dear USA, we'll keep him occupied while you change the locks and cancel his passport. Or, Dear America, we have your president. If you don't send us $30 million in unmarked bills, we'll return him to you. Now, the Queen gifted Trump with some history books with a pointed message. The message being British humor, the gift of a book to an illiterate man. Well played. But my favorite protest sign of all, stop killing ducks to make duct tape. At number 4, Manchester artist Aksa leaves Trump with a message on bird symbology. At number 3, British policemen escort Trump with a different kind of symbology. At number 2, surgery is now planned to remove Piers Morgan from Donald Trump's rectum. And at number 1, as Trump returns from the D-Day commemorations in France, the Trump-Macron friendship tree has died. Experts ruled the death a suicide. Hey, thanks for watching, and yes, I do take requests about what you'd like to see next, especially if you subscribe.